Okay, now we've got a couple of questions from kids who have sent questions in for you. So Jacob from Hucknall has asked, did you think of Ted as your first book idea, or did you have lots of other ideas and then have to decide on this one?
Oh, that's a great question. No, I don't think Ted was my first idea. I did play around with a lot of different ideas. I wrote an adult's book, comedy rom-com first, and then I think I played around with a lot of ideas. I couldn't tell you what they were now; they're gone. But I liked Ted. When I started writing, I thought, oh, I like Ted. I could work with Ted.
He's stuck. Yeah. Okay. Ali in Loudham has asked, do you plan your books out using a storyboard first?
No, I don't. But I do use storyboard because, as well as this, I still work in doing commercials and TV and things like that. So I do storyboard a lot. I know how they all work. So in my mind, I do. But do I actually draw a storyboard or write a story? No. I think if it was a picture book, maybe. But as a novel, I don't. No.
How important do you think that would be for our young writers to do something like that?
Well, it depends. I guess if, as I say, I guess if it's a lot of pictures in there, then they probably do need to plan it out. I think because I guess with my other hat on as a director, and when I direct commercials and things, I can work it out in my head how it's going to look, and I do play out all the scenes, all the chapters as if it's live action, and see if it works and see what their action is. I do that all in my head. If you see me walking along, you'll see I look like a local loony, but I do that all the time. So with that eye on, I do, but I don't actually write it down. No.
Okay. So budding writer Ash has asked you, how important is world building, and what are your top tips for making an interesting one?
Wow. Okay. Wow. World building. So, crikey, that's a good question. I keep it in the real world, because world building is really hard. So I've made life easy for me. I also, when I was younger, liked to read books that were based in the real world. That's how I connected with them. I liked books about school when I was at school. I like books. I don't tend to do read or watch sci-fi or anything like that, because I find it hard. Being relatable is really important to me. So I don't know is the answer, because I don't build worlds. I just set it in real life.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've not really done any world building myself. So
maybe we should. Maybe we should build a world.
Could build. It'd be fun. It's out of cheese, probably. If it was my world, because I like cheese. Anyway, Rowan in Sutton says, how long did it take for you to get published, and did you have to go to lots of places?
Oh, that's a great question. So I'll give you my publishing tips. So first of all, you've got to really do your homework and only send it to publishers that do the kind of book that you write. So if they concentrate on graphic novels, it's no good sending them TED, because there's no way you're going to get published. So it's not about sending it to as many people as possible. It's about really targeting who it is that works on this sort of thing. And for me, Award, they love comedy, they love learning, and they only do kids books. So they were absolutely perfect fit for me. But whatever you write, you've got to just look. And the only way to do that is go into a library or go into a bookshop and look through the shelves and find books that are similar to yours, and then write down who the publisher is, and then have a look online and contact them. Now, every publisher will have a different way of submitting. You might have to do 1 chapter or 3 chapters or fill out forms or whatever. They've all got their own way, and you have to follow the forms. I was told really early on, and I don't know if this is true, but I remember it. They said publishers always look for a reason not to publish your book. So don't give them those reasons. So go through it all make it the best you can do, and go over it and over. Give it to someone to read and get their notes. Don't be offended if they don't like a bit. Maybe it's not right. Don't be really precious on your writing, but do let people read it. And then when you're ready, really target it. And following the answer to that question, it did go to one other publisher who strangely just said, we like it, but we don't do books with learning anymore. So can you write us something else? I said, well, what do you want? And they said, we don't know. So that's really unhelpful. And I said, I kind of said, you know, it was lovely to hear in the early days, but I just thought, actually, no, because I really, really believe in TED and I really like TED. And then I thought there might be someone somewhere out there. And I was actually in my child's school library and I saw a book on the shelf and I thought, I haven't seen that book. And I looked and it was a Ward and I looked into what they did and sent it off. And here we are.
Here we are. The rest is history. So you stuck to your guns. I really love that. You didn't didn't compromise and think, okay, I'm going to change it. So it's all just completely made up and no learning. You stuck.
No, I believed in it. I'd sent it to a couple of, I'd let some of Oliver's friends, my son, Oliver's friends read it. And they gave me good feedback. Like they really found it funny. So I knew there was something in it. I just had to find someone that believed in it as well. So yeah.
Brilliant. Now we've got time for a few more questions. This one is from Martha in Nottingham. And she says, where would you go if you had a time traveling toilet in your house?
Oh, wow. I know where I'd go. I'd go back. I can be really specific as well. July the 13th, 1986.
Okay.
Because it was my 13th birthday and I had a birthday party and it was the same time and date as Live Aid. And I completely missed Live Aid. And looking back now, it's my only regret that I never got to be there in that stadium watching those legends. So if I had the time traveling toilet, I'd be back and I'd be in that crowd watching.
Wow. July baby. I'm a July baby as well. So, you know, what great time of year to be born. Now, Taya and Nathaniel in London say they love reading your books and they've already finished The Tudor Tangle and they want to know how long it takes you to write a book because they can't wait for the next one.
From when I get, if I'm really focused and really concentrating, it takes around 3 months to write a book. And then I go back a couple of times, reading it, adding in new jokes, taking bits out I don't like, really spending time sort of getting it the best I can. Then it goes to my kids and they go through it, they read it, tell me what they find funny, and I make any changes. They spot things that inconsistencies or something and I'll change that. I'll make sure that's all done. And then it's ready to send to the publisher. And then you get assigned, if you're lucky, an editor. And then they go through it. It's like when you hand in your homework at school, they go through it with a red pen and say, no, see me. Yeah, exactly. And then you have to do a little bit of rewriting. And then you got a finished product.